basketball team. Do you feel like that helps in games like this when you have guys who've been in those clutch crucial situations?
Not even a question. And I think the biggest thing that I think people are going to see this year with one, we're going to be a lot smarter. We're going to handle the ball a little bit better, and we're actually going to be able to shoot the ball a lot better. And I tell you, shooting cures a lot of ills. You know, Jake Hotberger that we got from Clemson is as good a shooter. You know, I had Cole Anderson in high school, and Cole was probably the best shooter I've ever had, and Jake and Cole would be a heck of a battle.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we got DJ Douglas back from last year. He's a heck of a shooter. We brought in Cam Foss from UMKC, and he's a real – there's times we can put 3 to 4, I think, very solid shooters where they should be 35 to 40% plus three-point shooters, and that's a heck of a weapon to have.
And that's what you kind of needed from the – because I felt like you had a lot of those shots available. A lot of those shots were ready and open, just wasn't hit in terms of that, right?
Well, the first – I think if I go back last year, I think the first 11 or 12 games, we were like 22% from the three as a team.
Yeah.
It got better through the course of the year, knowing what shots to take and so forth. And I think the other thing I think people are going to realize, they're going to see how the ball moves so much so far in practice. That extra pass has been phenomenal. The players are, you know, taking a good shot and making it to a great shot.
Yeah.
And when you can get that at this time of the year, you know, it's been really nice. I'll just be honest with you, it's a lot nicer for me going home at night knowing that we got guys that know how to play the game a lot better and share the ball a lot better.
Jason, you watched many of, obviously, the games, and when I talk about, like, when you see the game plan is being executed in that way, but the shots weren't going down per way.
I mean,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was being executed as much as you'd expect them to execute
you at least,
in year one of
of
how they're being developed. I mean, I think the weird thing with the portal and in this is it's always going to feel like with your rosters, so you're only going to get so deep into the system of what you can and can't do, you know. But I think they did what they wanted to. Of course, there's going to be more to it this year. They're older. I think that's a big part of it. They're a lot older, so they're much more mature. They're much more well-rounded, right? They're so much better in every aspect. I say outside of they're probably maybe a little less athletic than they were last year.
Yeah.
But not in a way that you really notice, you know. But they're good inside too, and they have a bunch of different pieces. I think with this team that can match up with a lot of different teams in the Mountain West.
Coach, I was going to go there next because the other thing I kind of thought, I'm like, the strength at the rim. Sometimes when they attack the rim, a lot of these guys were getting blocked, or there was a little bit of physicality that didn't quite finish those plays in the rim. Do you feel like you got some more guys that can be capable of attacking the rim when they need to, and finding ways to have better opportunities when they go to
We do, and the other thing I don't think people realize, Phil, when you don't shoot the ball well, that rim's going to be packed a lot more.
And you're forced to go in there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when you know, we got some shooters now where it's going to be, instead of having 6 hands in there, it might be just 4 hands slapping at that ball, maybe 2.
Yeah.
You know, we got a couple guys that can really get the ball, I think can take the ball to the rack. Then we have about 3 or 4 guys that can really shoot the ball. And I think that combination, once we figure out how to work it all together, I think people are going to really, you know, enjoy what and finally see what I want to put together out there.
Yeah, and I would say the biggest part with that is that they have a couple bigs that can finish this year, and this is not me killing Morsek. Moore is a great kid, you know. I mean, you feel bad for him, you know, for a little bit, just because like he struggled and coming off injury very hard. But these kids are much more skilled and they much more experienced, much more mature than Moore, right? Or what we had inside last year, right? And it helps when you know that you have that option, right? You've got to be able to finish inside and protect inside. So
and then also having McCon this year, you know, McCon's got, you know, he just came back yesterday. It was his first day.
Yeah.
You know, he had, you know, with the Trump thing and everything, the visa problems and so forth. So he just got back from Senegal yesterday. And again, yesterday was a tough day for him. Today, you can just see the difference of yesterday's workout to today's. Just a step one day, but how much better he got. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, you know, you can put a 7-footer with a 6'11" wing on the same spot with a 6'5" shooter and 6'7" shooter and a point guard like Zion. Now you got some things you can really do.
Yeah, the point is the defense has to make a choice at some point instead of what the only option that you guys were afforded, having to make those choices. That you want as many choices the defenses are have to force to make when it comes to that, and when you get ready and build all that to you, I'm sure that works in the off season. The way you guys have been building to the game plan of it, I'm sure you're already rolling into what rotations you could possibly get into. How does that work when you're evaluating it through the summer and into the September here?
Well, summer wasn't much an evaluation because we were missing the 4 international kids,
Yeah.
and Zion was hurt for about 5 weeks and so forth. So, but now with having the international kids here, because our whole thing was the 4 international kids, can at least 2 of them help us?
Yeah.
Hopefully, obviously we wanted all 4, and I think in the first week with these guys, I can see where all 4 are going to really help us. Bastian's a point guard. Just like Zion, he's a pass-first point guard. He enjoys making that pass, and he's smart. And, both him and Wilson played on their under-20 Euro Cup team that ended up taking 4th in July over in Greece. So they got that great experience all summer. Then Nathan Zulemi, who we just got into a couple of days ago, he's just a 6'4" raw athlete. I mean, he's got a 6'10" wingspan. When he goes to the hoop, he's going to the hoop.
Yeah.
He's looking to dunk on you. He's looking to put his knee right through your chest. He's got that physicality I just absolutely love. Then you got Gasper G, who from Slovenia is about 6'9", who's a really good athlete. You can play the pick and pop game, little pocket pass where he can make plays and so forth. So like Jay said, we just have a lot more weapons this year. The key is hopefully you got to keep them healthy.
I got to ask you, Jason, when somebody tries to crack Vance's rotation, and it's you as a player, you've been in the experience of trying to crack his rotation. What do these players have to do to find the playing time for him, especially when it comes to this time of year?
I think just sorry. Sorry, my phone going off.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
I honestly, for them to crack the rotation, I think like they just need to be the best versions of themselves, right? I mean, coach is not asking. We know who they are. They know who they are. We're just trying. He's just trying to get them to be the best version of themselves in a certain role, and the 9 or 10 guys that can do that are going to play. It's a weird thing. I don't think you're going to see, and this is just my opinion. I've been talking about any of it. I think you're not going to see the same, like you might see the same top 7 or 8,
Yeah.
right? That you'll see every night. But I think that the 8, 9, and 10 each game might vary because I think everybody on this roster can help. I really think, I think realistically 13, 14 of these guys, 13, 14 players can step on the floor tomorrow and help.
We would take it over 7 we were running.
I honestly felt like last year,
Six, yeah.
and I don't even really felt like you had 6 able bodies, 6 beating hearts, and I don't feel like you had 6 guys, and they're all good kids, and you root for all of them.
Yeah.
But you're trying to win games in the Mountain West. Let's be honest.
Yep.
And
then we were trying to win games of the Pac-12.
And it takes really good. You have to be a really good player to play
Yeah.
a lot of minutes in this conference. It's a great conference.
For sure. Vance, I got a curious question for you in terms of just getting guys ready for the season in terms of the durability of basketball and in terms of durability of staying healthy throughout the season. Coach Entz, I don't know how much you cross over with him. He's brought a lot of like the sports medicine, nutrition, kind of getting guys ready in a proper way in terms of targeting how they get ready for a season. Have you ever picked his brain, or have you talked to the sports medicine people about kind of that stuff and getting guys ready in that aspect and getting them ready for a season?
Oh, definitely. You got to remember, when I was in the NBA,
Yeah, that's true.
That's all it's talking about. When I was especially with the 76ers, for Brett Brown when we were there, just the recovery, the hydration, the rest, and all that was so big. The hard part for me is my culture is you got to learn how to play hard, and you got to play hard all the time. Now, how hard can you push them to play hard, and then make sure they can recover?
Yeah.
We're in twice a week we do some real good running right now. And when the kids are done, they're dead. I mean, they know it. So they're trying to figure out how to get through that, come back the next day, still play hard. And then right now, because we don't have we're not on the floor a lot, but when we get to the 20 hours on September 22nd, then you got to be a lot more, recognize what's going on and so forth. But we have a recovery lab. Our trainer, Rachel, I think does a really good job with the kids. We got our dietitian. So they know what to do. The biggest thing I think we have to do is put calories on most of our kids.
Yeah.
Because we burn so much.
Has it changed for a while? Like you go through the NBA, you've been coaching everywhere at every level. You know, has it changed a lot since you've been?
I think the biggest change is honestly, and I don't know if it's good, it's all the rest day. You know, you see players are being rested in the NBA and so forth. And I understand 82 games, you know, you got 7 or 8 non-league, you know, preseason games. And if you make the playoffs, you got 4 series out of 7. And I understand that.
And the star player is making 7 times as much as the GM, so he's his boss. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll play when I want to.
You got players that are coming up that are almost going to make $1 million a game now, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, it's great for them and everything else. But for the college kids, you know, again, the recovery and the rest is going to be really, really critical. We have 4 or 5 guys that we cannot afford, you know, to go down and get hurt.
Talking about this group and what's pulling together, what have you really? I mean, what has stood out? I mean, you talked about all the guys that have been what they've been putting out, but have they been coming together in a sense as well? Because obviously, when we talked about last year's team, it was a lot of guys coming together from different spots, and this year's team, it feels like the same way. But have you felt like there's been a little more community with this team and the way the guys have responded to each other?
Not even a question. I think the biggest difference for this year is that we can teach it once and they're picking up, where last year it might have taken 7, 8, 9 different days before they pick it up. And the other thing that's been really neat is, you know, like Jay said, you know, your first year and you're just trying to survive. You got this, you got that.
Yeah.
And we were, I think, the 8th youngest team last year, or 12th, or whatever it was. But having like Jake and Cam, that are 2 grad seniors, having that leadership just means so much. And then just them trying to teach the younger kids the way to handle things. And then I'll be honest with you, I think we got pretty darn lucky with the young kids that we brought in. You know, DJ Stickman from Clovis West, he's getting better and better. He's just so freaking athletic. You know, he can come in. I thought we were going to probably redshirt him. There's no way we're going to redshirt him.
Okay.
You got Deshaun Gorey. You know, Deshaun came in this summer 6'7.5", 159.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, he is thin.
Wow.
But you go watch him play. He reminds me so much of Corey Brewer.
Okay.
If anybody that knows NBA and watched Corey, have the energy Corey had,
One of my
and how
favorite
hard he
50-point
played.
games.
Yeah, you remember the guy really couldn't shoot, and he had a 50-point.
Yeah, I know.
He had a 50-point game.
Deshaun has a
You know.
chance of being a special player one day.
Yeah, he's got that. I got it. He's got what you call a big, you know what?
Yeah,
cojones.
he's got-
he no moment's big enough for him. He wants to go in and go dunk on you every time.
For sure.
And I love that. And then Mateo Porto, you know, when Mateo came the first week, we were going, you know, he had a hard time understanding some things and doing some things. And both him and Deshaun, every day they just get a ton of shots up, and you know they're going to get better. I think, like I said, people are going to, I really think, really enjoy watching this group.
I think people are itching for good basketball here, and we're looking forward to it. I got a couple minutes here left. I want to touch on real quick some Valley Athletic stuff. You were one of the big visionaries for it, seeing Jason take it over and do what he's doing there. I know you got some good stuff coming up, Jason, but Vance, just real quick, what is it like to see him work hard at the Valley Athletic side?
Well, not only
you see me?
Jason,
Oh.
I don't see much. I've been so busy, honestly.
Observe from afar.
I feel bad. I feel bad because my family, Jason, my daughter Heather, my son-in-law Jonathan, Ian, my other son, you know, they put their time and so forth. It's been hard for me to put much time in. So I feel bad in that way because we did want to get this thing going, but the opportunity with Fresno State. But no, I mean, I think people down the line are going to really appreciate what Valley Athletics is doing for the area. You know, to have a place where they can go and try and get better, whether it's volleyball or basketball.
Yeah.
You know, and that was always our goal.
And Jason, little reminder for the folks, what's coming up for you guys?
Yeah. So just tomorrow, VBA, so that's our basketball academy. We have tryouts for our AAU teams for fall AAU. So that's tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. It's our last night of tryouts for fall. And then for our volleyball academy, which is unquestionably the best academy in the Valley, we have a couple national championships already. But we also have beginner teams too. So it's not just for people that are super serious, it's for people that just want to learn something new or, you know, create a new friend group. That's October 11th through 12th. So girls aged 9 to 14.
All right.
9 to 14. October 11th to 12th.
October 11th.
And Phil,
Yeah.
one other thing I should have probably said.
No, you're good.
Valley Athletics and Fresno State men's basketball are going to host free camps.
Wow. Okay.
Sunday, September 7th,
Okay.
from 8 to 10. Anybody in Central, Clovis Unified, Fresno Christian, they're welcome. There's a sign up. It's free. We'll take 100 third and fourth graders from 8 to 10, 100 fifth and sixth graders from 10:30 to 12:30. Then the following Sunday, we're going to do Clovis Unified.
Wow.
Same thing. So we're going to try and host 400 kids. They get a free T-shirt, come in, get to see the kids, play some basketball, learn something from the players, and I think it's great for the community to see.
That's an awesome thing to hear,
Yep.
man. Appreciate it. And guys, I appreciate you taking the time. And I know we're up against it here, but you guys, best of luck on the season. We'll be talking before things get rolling there. But
You got it, Phil. Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Thank
Thanks,
you, guys.
Bill. Appreciate you.
Jason Wahlberg, Vance Wahlberg here in studio. Take a break. End of hour. Hour number 2 coming up next on 1430 ESPN.
Get your day. Rich Eisen.
You can't tell the story of baseball without what Aaron Judge has been doing right now. What Aaron Judge has done over the last 3 to 4 years, for sure, is one of the greatest tears we've ever seen by a right-handed hitter. Period. End of story. He is the king of being intentionally walked. He is the ultimate guy that you don't want to have beat you. He's been that way pretty much since he came up from out of nowhere. He's absolutely a Hall of Famer if he doesn't play another game.
Rich Eisen, brought to you by Citizens Business Bank.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients, and enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Fresno location, please call 559-424-0423 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Now, wait a minute. Just hold on here. What happened? Where did this summer go? Did we have summer? I got up yesterday. It was Memorial Day. I got up this morning. It's almost fall. Well, fall is not bad. And you know what it means? It means 2 good friends, 2 great stores, 1 huge parking lot. Yeah, it means the fashion furniture Lou Rodman Labor Day clearance. It means sofa love seat combinations and sectionals at Fashion for just $14.97. Selected handcrafted Amish floor samples from Lou Rodman as low as half price. Oh, and inside Fashion furniture, Sleep Retreat has an expanded line of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Beauty Rest mattresses, many with free adjustable bases. And then 0% financing at both stores. Well, it may be almost fall, but you should almost fall into the Labor Day clearance at Fashion Furniture and Lou Rodman's on El Paso across from River Park.
Hey, what have you got there? Travel brochures?
Yep. I'm working hard now, so someday I can see the world.
I know you've got a successful career going, but that looks expensive.
It's okay. My advisor at Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management has me on a plan aimed at my goal of financial independence.
Why Thiessen-Duker?
They're different. They use advanced AI technology to analyze all of my investment strategies and show me projections. It's technology a lot of other advisors don't use, and they're independent, so they can show me any investment option that's right for me, not just products from one Wall Street company.
That does sound different.
My goal one day is to have Thiessen-Duker help me convert my investments into income I can use to live on and travel the world.
I think I need Thiessen-Duker.
Just visit Thiessen-Duker.com and give them a call. The advisors of Thiessen-Duker Modern Wealth Management are registered representatives with and securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, I'm Jim Schaefer with Helena Agri-Enterprises. At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays a crucial role in maximizing production. You can visit helenaagri.com to find your local Helena retailer and learn more about Helena's products and solutions. Summer temperatures and droughty conditions are rapidly approaching in the Central Valley, which isn't ideal for farming. These environmental stresses can impact yields significantly, so how do we fight against this? At Helena, we have a product called Megafol. Megafol contains a precision blend of plant extracts that improves crop vitality and helps defend against environmental stressors like heat and drought. So how does it work? Simply put, the plant extracts in Megafol upregulate genes that produce specific proteins in the crop. More of these proteins means the crop can function at a higher level under stress conditions and less energy is spent on recovery. At At Helena, we lead with agronomy, and crop health plays
You're listening to the home of the San Francisco Giants, KFIG Fresno, 1430 ESPN.
I'm Ed Bacon. It is cutdown day in the NFL, where a host of roster moves are made across the league. The league has made a move of its own as the NFL has placed Texan safety Jimmy Ward on the league's exempt list as an incident in June occurred when Ward was arrested for alleged family violence incident. Meanwhile, the Patriots cut offensive lineman Cole Strange. He was a first-round draft pick in 2022. Bills' first-round pick Maxwell Hairston has been placed on the team's injured reserve list with the designation to return on Tuesday. The cornerback has an LCL sprain. Falcons starting right tackle Caleb McGarry will miss the entire season. He's been placed on injured reserve without a designation to return due to a leg injury. Saints coach Kellen Moore has named Spencer Rattler his starting quarterback. He beats out rookie Tyler Shuck. In Cleveland, rookie Dylan Gabriel will be the backup to Joe Flacco. Coach Kevin Stefanski was asked if Gabriel's play made it easier to trade Kenny Pickett.
I think you factor in everything, truly. You look at it from a bunch of different angles. So certainly we made the decision and feel comfortable with Dylan serving that role.
Shedeur Sanders will be Cleveland's number 3 quarterback. Baseball, Red Sox and Orioles already underway. They're in the 3rd inning, and Boston has jumped out to a 1-0 lead. Coming up in a few moments, the Mets host the Phillies in New York. The Phillies' lead over the Mets in the National League East is at 6 games. At the U.S. Open, Yannick Sinner, Iga Swiatek, and Amanda Anisimova are among the winners in round 1. All 3 advanced earlier today in straight sets. Meanwhile, Coco Gauff is about to get her match underway as she'll take the court for the first time in this year's tournament.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Caleb Williams has his new head coach. But how patient will Bears fans be with Caleb this season? It's on Sportsman Like, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again in anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks. But super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock hour here on 1430 ESPN. You're listening to the Central Valley's sports leader. It is August 26th. Big thanks to Jason and Vance Wahlberg for joining us in the last hour. That was a pleasant surprise. Honestly, Jason letting us know today that Vance would be coming on, so that was a nice surprise for us. But good to talk the basketball team here. And if you missed that conversation, you can listen to it on demand on the 1430 ESPN app or on the 1430 ESPNFresno.com website. I want to continue this conversation. We were having it off air. I want to continue it on air real quick because this has been low key kind of fun. I have a list in front of me of the 50-point games. Vance talked about Corey Brewer, and I just remember Corey Brewer was a 50-point game. He might be the most random 50-point game in the history of the NBA, but there have been some random ones.
Oh, until you said what you said.
I have learned that Sadiq Bey has a 50-point game, and upon our research, it was against the Orlando Magic in 22. I still don't think you believe it, Tanvir. I still don't think you believe it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, just a player of that magnitude to have a 50-point game is quite wild.
He has the same amount of 50-point games as Victor Wembanyama.
Hey, this year, Shaolin is going to get you 60 points on multiple occasions.
Sadiq Bey has as many 50-point games as Paul Pierce.
I saw a stat the other day that said Paul Pierce has the most points in NBA history for a person that did not get a single first place MVP vote. So
yeah,
that is him not having a 50-point game with that stat as well. It's quite wild.
What if I told you Kevin Porter Jr. had a 50-point game?
So that was the name that I saw on the list that I saw, which I was very surprised about, but because he doesn't get many minutes at this point.
When did Kevin Porter Jr. have a 50-point game?
Had to be a Rockets game. For sure.
He became the youngest player to post a 50-point game. It was a Rockets. It was 21. It was April 29th, so it had to be like the last game of the year. Yeah, it looked like that kind of semi-COVID whatever year. Is this against Milwaukee? Yeah. He had 50 points and 10 assists.
I think I remember that game now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Everyone thought Kevin Porter Jr., man, what's going to happen with this guy? And there it is. That's what happened to him. How about Malachi Flynn?
Mark of success.
Malachi Flynn with a 50-point game? When did he do that? Now I got to look that up. Malachi Flynn, 50-point game. It was also a Piston, just like Sadiq. 2024, April 3rd against the Hawks. In a loss, by the way. Malachi Flynn, 50-point effort in a loss. So, I don't know how many guys get 50 points in a loss, by the way. That's an interesting one to look at as far as that's concerned. But that's all I've got. That's all I've got. I don't know if I've got any more interesting ones to point out that on this list. Drew Holiday. Yeah, I don't know. Brandon Roy.
Jerry Stackhouse, also Pistons.
Yeah.
Hey, Cunningham, you're on the clock.
Go on the Pistons. You're going to score 50. How about that? Or is this the T.J. Warren I'm thinking about? Yes, T.J. Warren had a 50-point game. Jermaine O'Neal had a 50-point game. Ray Allen's only had one 50-point game. For what he's done with the three-point shot, that's a little surprising to me.
I think it was just a lack of touches, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Especially in the latter part of his career. Where
I just feel like if Clay can do more than that, I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like Clay was a much bigger part of the offenses, especially throughout his Warriors career versus Ray Allen. You know, he was on the Celtics, who had KG, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and then you had the Heat years where he was behind LeBron and D. Wade and Chris Bosh. So I can understand that to an extent, but especially in the early part of his career, I thought, especially like Supersonics Ray, you might have seen a couple more than that.
Reggie Miller only had one 50-point game. That's an interesting name to see there, too. John Wall. Recently retired John Wall with a 50-pointer. So, see, this is what happens. We get basketball guys in our studio. We start talking basketball. But at this point, I'm done reading lists. I don't think I have any more as far as that's concerned. Paolo had a 50-point game. But anyways, all right, that's all I've got. Let's go back to the NFL cuts situation, and I want to go into more specifically the teams we've talked about. Have we had an update on the Chiefs? Have we seen anything from the Chiefs in terms of their cut down? Because that was one we were kind of waiting on in terms of it, just to see specifically if Mac Delana made a roster or not. I would assume, I don't know. I'm not going to assume anything in terms of that, but I want to make sure we get things right here. I'll look at this first. Some notables on the 49ers. For the 49ers today, Robbie Chosen getting cut, Russell Gage Jr., wide receiver, getting cut, Isaiah Hodgins getting cut. No Jeff Wilson Jr. this year, although they hope to retain him on the practice squad in a running back capacity. They cut Thomas Morstead, who was supposed to be their punter this year. I'm a little confused on that one.
So I don't know who's their punter this year.
Who is the punter this year?
Maybe Mitch Wishnowski's back.
Is he back?
Know, but no, I don't know if he is. But, we don't have a punter going into this year.
How do you feel about that? 12 days to find a punter.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like punter's one of those. It's important when you don't have one, but when you do, you don't really appreciate them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Noted wide receiver that Jorge really liked, Tariq Owens, off the roster, too, as well. He was hyping him up yesterday.
I think he was one of those guys that I wish would have ended up at the end of the roster, right? Because, if you look at this receiver room, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jacob Cowing, then you got Sky Moore, Jordan Watkins, and then DeMarcus Robinson and Brandon Ayuk both not available for the first couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if Tariq Owens actually is like a practice squad player and maybe is brought back for those specific games. And then when DeMarcus Robinson and Brandon Ayuk return, maybe you will see him off the roster again. But that's definitely a player that I hoped would have been on the end of this roster to start the year.
Any other thoughts on the Niner cut downs?
I was a little bit surprised about Chaz Surratt not being on the roster, the linebacker we got from the Jets, but it could just because the linebacker room is so thin. But other than that, nothing really that stood out to me besides the things that you talked about.
Yeah. Looking at the Rams, if we want to move on to them, they made some cuts on the O-line. They made some cuts on the corners as well. A lot of different positions. I think the obvious big one for us is Ronnie Rivers going down. Cody Schrader also cut from the running back room as well. Outside of that, I mean, just a funny name. A.J. Green gets cut from the Rams, but not that A.J. Green in the corner side of things. I don't have much on this Rams cut down. I think the roster was pretty settled in terms of it. It is disappointing to see Ronnie go, but I don't know if there's a practice squad ability or opportunity for Ronnie in this situation. I'd hope maybe there's a possibility there, and maybe that is a chance he could get after, but he's a little bit down the road as far as a pro is concerned. He's in his third year. So I'm wondering if he gets looks down there. I really hope so, because he's been a really, really good pro for the last few years. He's gotten snaps in the playoffs, so he's got a little experience running in that game as well. I think there's some teams that could use him. But outside of that, I don't know if I have total surprises from the Rams in terms of who they've cut.
You know, a guy coming out of the draft that I was hoping would be a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a player in the back end of this linebacker room that's always been a position that the Rams have not spent that much money on, was Chris Paul Jr. coming out of Ole Miss. I thought that was a really good pick. He got cut today, but they obviously they have that 3-4 defense where they just play those two interior linebackers. And so now I look at this team: Troy Reeder, Nate Landman, Omar Spades, and I don't know if Sean Dolak is still on the team, but though that linebacker room, I'm not really enthused about it. But the rest of their defense is really, really good. I love their defensive line. Their interior is absolutely nasty. So they're obviously going to lean on that D-line to get things done in the defensive side of the ball.
Going to the Raiders real quick, just some names, maybe more on the wide receiver side. You've got Marquez Callaway getting cut, Philip Dorsett getting cut as well. I think they still have some more names to go in terms of that. This roster is not nearly as many cut downs that I have in this list, but maybe I can refresh my page real quick, see if anything's updated from the Raiders. Let me do that real quick. But as far as the Raiders, there is one addition that the Raiders did yesterday that's now official, adding Kenny Pickett as the backup quarterback team. Aiden O'Connell, I think, is dealing with an injury for 8 to 12 weeks. Feels like an upgrade, I would say, in terms of the backup quarterback position. If Geno Smith isn't, finds himself injured in some form or fashion at the beginning of this year. But I thought that was a decent move to go to a guy who I think is just outright better than
sure.
Aiden O'Connell has been. So I don't hate the move for the Raiders to go after Kenny Pickett there.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. If you were looking at who else their backup would be at this point, it was slim pickings. But I think this is a good trade. You didn't. I had a couple of friends who wanted Shedeur Sanders to get traded, but I just did not believe that the Browns were going to trade him. So getting Kenny Pickett, he had a couple of snaps in Philadelphia during that Super Bowl season. He played. So I think if Geno Smith were to get injured, I think Kenny Pickett is a decent backup to have. But I thought when you said big pickup, I thought you were going to bring up Amari Cooper.
Oh, that
who
too.
Also got.
We talked about it yesterday's show a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. No.
That's on yesterday's.
That's on me then. But just a little to say about Amari Cooper. I think this is a really good pickup. Jacoby Myers having this trade request. You don't really know what the future of your room is. Now you drafted 2 wide receivers as well. So if you are looking for the future of this receiving room, you have Jack Besh and Dante Thornton Jr. Dante Thornton, I think, has played pretty well in the preseason. So I think this is a really good depth piece for the Raiders to have going into this year in case Jacoby Myers isn't on the roster.
Jacoby Myers, I've heard him in trade rumors, even being reunited back with the Patriots and some sort of swap for maybe a Kyle Duggar, who may be a guy who the Raiders could target in the secondary side as far as it's concerned. That's a trade that makes some sense for me in terms of the Raiders side. Maybe I don't know about the Patriots side, but we'll see on that. I wouldn't hate it, but it's going to be interesting to pay attention to that. Yeah, so Amari Cooper, I said this on yesterday's show. He's more of the bigger what ifs if he didn't get traded from the Raiders in my mind, as far as like what that team could look like moving forward. Because I didn't think there was much after that for the Raiders once 16 happened and the Cooper thing. Did he get traded in 17 or 18? I'm trying to remember. I think it was 18 after the 17 season when they sent him to the Cowboys. I'd have to believe that was the offseason. And the Raiders really didn't have much in terms of the weapons out there as far as that's concerned. Crabtree moved on. I think Crabtree went to Baltimore or something. Khalil Mack moved on.
Loss.
Yeah, and so the whole roster was losing its core, and it was kind of relying on Derek Carr and whoever was still there as far as that's concerned. I don't know if it's going to stick in the craw of Raider fans because it's like, oh, okay, we have Amari Cooper back, great, but it's not the Amari Cooper you were signing up for maybe 8 years ago.
Yeah, I think I don't think Raiders fans should expect the same Amari Cooper. I think even if you looked at Amari Cooper on the Bills last year, to me personally, it wasn't anything that was outstanding. I still thought Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir were their two best wide receivers last year. And Amari Cooper, granted, did come into the Bills midway through the season, and he didn't really have time to get acclimated to that offense. And maybe he can get acclimated to this offense. It's a familiar situation to him. In terms of being in the Raiders organization. So I would temper expectations from Raiders fans if you expect this in his career.
It kind of reminds me of when the Patriots added Deion Branch again back in I think it was 2010 when they added him back. It clearly wasn't the same Deion Branch. Deion went around for a while in terms of everything like that, but he was somewhat productive, but it wasn't Super Bowl MVP winning Deion Branch per se. And so, like I said, if he gets to 600 yards and 7 touchdowns, I'd be there. I'd sign up for it for Amari Cooper to at least be somewhat of a threat in some form or fashion. He's not game breaking, but what we've been trying to figure out with this Raider roster per se.
Right. So. I would take him as the wide receiver 2 for this team.
Exactly, and that's where it should be.
Wide receiver 2.
If Jacoby Myers would get his bleep together.
Right. And I also think this is, again, we've seen this so much across the league where you just have trade requests turn into contract negotiations immediately. But so I wouldn't be too scared per se as a Raiders fan that Jacoby's going to leave the team. But I like the move. I really thought the depth of this wide receiver room was my biggest concern going into this year on the offensive side of the ball, obviously besides the offensive line. But I like the move, especially if you have Jacoby there. You got Amari, Jack Best, Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton. That's a really good receiver room in terms of depth and talent as well.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see for sure. NFL season starts in 12 days. And by the way, it'd be really easy to trade for the Patriots because you play them week 1. Or maybe they wait.
Right.
They don't want the Jacoby Myers revenge game if that happens. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's take a break. We'll dive in. Maybe we'll do our first look at actual specific matchups for week 1. I don't know if it's a little too early for it, but I just want to give a little taste, a little sample. Where when you go wine tasting, you just get a little sip of what it looks like as far as that's concerned. We're going to get a little amuse-bouche of the week 1 schedule because we officially have nothing before it. And I want to talk what the Raiders have, what the Rams have, what the Niners have in week 1. Plus, I reveal teams 8 through 5 of my Bonati's Best revealing rankings as well. So stay with us. We'll be right back on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
The Central Valley Sports Leader has you covered for the local angle with the Central Valley Sports Report hosted by Paul Meadors. Paul is back for year 5 and is ready to give you the insight and knowledge of everything you need to know when it comes to high school sports. From the coaches and player interviews to the game recaps week by week, as well as talking with all the insiders that have the pulse when it comes to prep sports in the Central Valley. Central Valley Sports Report, airing 10 a.m. to noon, live from First String Sports every Saturday on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Are you a business owner struggling to understand how cloud technology can help your business? Are you in need of computer and technology support for your employees? M-Cubed Technologies is your solution for fully managed IT services. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. M-Cubed will be your partner in the digital world, allowing your business to carry on worry-free. We specialize in cloud hosting, Microsoft 365 management, general IT support, and VoIP phone services. Call M-Cubed Technologies today to discuss our partnerships.
building a new warehouse, adding on to your existing warehouse for more space? The boys from Fresno Rack and Shelving can help, because that's what they do. Fresno Rack's design department can help optimize your warehouse storage capabilities and increase your productivity. With a large local stock of pallet racking, industrial parts shelving, in-house permitting, and installation departments, Fresno Rack and Shelving is the choice for you. Call or visit FresnoRack.com today.
Football fans, it's Phil Benatti here with Behind the Bench. Big thing I think about with tailgates is the food, and the best place to get ready for it is visiting Grocery Outlet in Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno's Southeast, Downtown, and Northwest stores. Stock up and save big on quality meats, snacks, drinks, beer, and wine, and same quality as the big chain stores, but at lower prices. And while you're there, sign up for the Tailgate Ready contest to win a pair of tickets to each Fresno State home game and $100 for your tailgate only at participating Grocery Outlet stores here in the Central Valley.
We've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years and are consistently recognized as one of the top performing banks in the nation. Hi, I'm Susan Woosner, Senior Solution.
For bold, flavorful Chinese dishes, Spicy J's has exactly what you're looking for. Enjoy a hot pot experience at J-Pot and top it off with boba from JT Inside. Whether dining in or ordering out, every meal is memorable. Visit linsrestaurantgroup.com to learn more.
Prices on steel and materials are up everywhere, but you can still get unbeatable value for your residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects at Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno. They'll match or beat any competitor's price by at least 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. Ready when you are. Massive inventory? Yes. Same-day delivery? Yes. 24/7 service? Yes. Get your free quote today. Call or swing by Pacific Steel Supply, Parkway in Fresno off Highway 99, or visit PacificSteelSupply.com.
Deb's constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating kept giving her grief. She talked to her doctor to get some relief. Syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, which was a start. Saying yes to Linzess helped her do her part.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. Your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Story with IBS-C. Talk to a learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Continuing on with the second hour, talking about NFL and all of that great stuff going on here in the season, which is just 9 days away. 9 days away from Cowboys and Eagles. Although every time I feel like we get closer to that game, it's just bad news for the Cowboys in terms of everything like that. But we'll see. 9 days isn't crazy to get ready for a season, especially if you're the athletic freak of Micah Parsons and others in terms of that. But I wouldn't hold out hope in terms of if you're a Cowboys. So I know there's been. I wonder if I should go chronologically or should I go, how should I go in order of this, Tanvir? Because the Raiders play in the morning, the Rams the afternoon. Where should I start? Should I go Raiders first because it's a
little fun thing, I guess. Let's do most anticipated game to least anticipated game.
Well, in that case, let's do Houston and Los Angeles.
Interesting.
I think
Okay.
Houston and Los Angeles is a little taste of it. I worry because of Stafford's back issues and him getting ready for this season there's always a concern of mine with this game of what it could do to it. Time of his life trying to run away from those defensive linemen, and I feel like that is so big in this game. I don't know how the Rams. I mean, I got to imagine the Rams are favored in this game, and they are. I look at it 2.5 point favorite for the Rams. The concern is obviously the health and well-being of Matthew Stafford if he can stay alive, basically through this thing. But I feel like it's mismatched just a little bit for Houston in terms of both sides of the ball. I don't think this is a great opponent for Houston to be facing here in Week 1.
Yeah, I think if you looked earlier on when the schedule first came out, you would have thought that this was a much more of a balanced matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look across the board, I think that the Texans' defense is actually still really good, right? And that's honestly what carried them last year to that playoff run. Even they beat the Chargers in a game that I thought they wouldn't have been able to because of the lack of an offensive line. And they have somehow, some way, gotten worse at that position because they got rid of Laramie Tunsil. And now you have this defensive line who added Poona Ford that I love.
Mm-hmm.
You have a defensive line that still has Jared Verse. You still have Kobe Turner. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference in this game. I think Nico Collins is a tough matchup for any of these corners, and I think that's the one thing that could affect the Rams in this game in terms of the Texans' offense, because I don't think Joe Mixon is or was going to get any rush on this team, and now Joe Mixon's not there. So you have to rely on Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, who's past his prime, to get that rush offense going. So I think keys to this game, first of all, the Rams pass rush is going to get to C.J. Stroud. How good can you defend Nico Collins one-on-one?
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the ball is stopping or trying to keep Matthew Stafford healthy for sure.
Los Angeles, by the way, much improved in the special teams department. They were so bad 2 years ago. I think NFL worst in terms of total special teams. This team could absolutely find a way to make things happen in that department as well. Josh Carty, he's been kind of low-key a weapon for this Rams team. Really have enjoyed his kicking. And the return side as well, I think they have a lot of opportunities there. I would go next. I actually have a little buyer's remorse. I think I would go Niners Seahawks as maybe my second favorite game, if not maybe could have been my first. Just simply because, and you weren't here for it, I put them right next to each other in my power rankings. I put Seattle 15, I put 49ers 14. I think actually this is as pick-em as it can be in a game of Week 1 schedule if you want to really look at it. Niners are a 2.5-point favorite on the road, which I just do not love if you want to look at the line of it. This feels pick-em to me. Seattle is so I am as high as I can be on the Seattle weapons in terms of the way they can attack in the passing game, even without DK Metcalf, because I frankly don't think I think they've really got guys who can replace that production, which was hit or miss sometimes with DK Metcalf in that sense. Where the Niners struggling in it is maybe the pass defense and where that can look as far as that team is concerned. But you have a Robert Saleh group that can make things difficult in terms of a Sam Darnold who can really freeze when it comes to different packages of pressure and the way he has to look at things. And then on the flip side, I do think the Seattle defense can be vulnerable, and this Niner team is going to have to find creative ways to get their guys involved all over the field, including guys who are not going to get typical look at their starting time because they're going to have to be asked to do a lot more than what they're going to be used to, especially in the wide receiver category because of the three guys potentially who could miss Week 1. You hope Juwan Jennings can be the guy, but can he be number one right there right off the bat when he's been kind of holding out per se? You're not going to have Demarcus Robinson. That news came down. He's going to be out for 3 games officially in terms of a suspension. Ayuk is officially going to be on the PUP list, eligible to return Week 5 against the Rams. So, going to be a lot of McCaffrey, a lot of Kittle, and we hope we run it back in this game in Seattle, but it'll be very tight.
Yeah, I think this is another case of when the opponent first came out, I had a different opinion, and that's natural, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's really evident at the lack of receivers that this 49ers team has. I still think that this offense is the best part of this team. I think in years past, especially before Brock Purdy was there, you generally leaned on the 49ers defense to get things done. And I think now in this new era of players that have been longtime 49ers now leaving, you're relying a lot more on the offense. And I think that Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, and Ricky Pearsall, I think he's the biggest key in this game, because I think I've seen a lot of great things between him and Brock Purdy in this preseason, and I think that's going to continue throughout this year. They took him in the first round, so you got to expect something out of Ricky Pearsall this season if you want to make that draft pick count. Obviously, we know the 49ers' early draft picks have not hit as well, but you're really hoping that these last two draft classes hit. On the defensive side of the ball, I think that, as you said, the players that have come in for the Seahawks are going to be able to replace DK Metcalf's absence. And I think the biggest W for the Seahawks is that they got Clint Kubiak at offensive coordinator. Ryan Grubb was just not able to go from college to the NFL and allow his offense to work well. And now you have Clint Kubiak in here, who I think really, really complements Sam Darnold. So that's the biggest key for Seattle. And I think the Niners' secondary is honestly better than what this defensive line is. Like, the interior of this defensive line, I'm very worried about, because you have Kevin Givens and you have Alfred Collins, C.J. West, not guys that are known for being your big name players like a Javon Hargrave or an Eric Armstead or DeForest Buckner would have been in the past. So yeah, that's the biggest concern. Kenneth Walker in that running game going against this defensive line. But if Brock Purdy can do his thing, and I think Brock Purdy has played very well over the last 2 years, I think this could be a win for the 49ers.
They play well against Seattle, too. The Niners have the last few years in terms of that.
Yeah, on the road especially.
So on the road especially. They kind of have ownage of it. But you have concern of the lack of names on that side of the defense, but I could also say we had that in 2019, and 2019 turned into some guys who became the guys you named.
Yeah.
So, especially under Robert Saleh.
And that's the ceiling for this team.
That's the hope. A lot about my Patriots. I try not to show my bias as well as I can. I think this line is right, 2.5 for the Patriots in New England. The Raiders are open on the tough side of it. Pete Carroll going up against the Patriots. It's debut as a coach. The Patriots have gotten better in the talent department. I wouldn't say they are still yet the most talented team. I don't really firmly believe that Stephon Diggs is the number one, but what can the Raiders do to afford it as far as going up against this team? The Raiders, Geno Smith, going to be a guy who's going to be tested with the lack of weapons he potentially could have in this one. But Ashton Jeanty is going to be the heart and beat and soul of this offense for the Raiders if they're going to have any sort of success. But teams know that. And so what are we scheming up against the rookie running back and him potentially having a dud of a game one? The Patriots could have a really good opportunity to handle some things. I like Robert Spillane, who the Raiders gave away basically, let him walk, and the Raiders have him. And guess what? He's going up against his old team, and I really like Robert Spillane as a linebacker. So that might go back to bite the Raiders in this one. And then on the flip side, defensively, I feel like this is as lower scoring of a game between these two teams. But I think there's a little bit of a deficiency in the offensive weapons that the Raiders present as opposed to what the Patriots present. But I think there could be an issue of the one-dimensionality of the Raiders' offense in this game especially.
I mean, generally speaking, when you go into a matchup, you're always looking at what two parts of the field are the parts that can get affected the most. And I think it's clearly that matchup between the Patriots offense and the Raiders defense, because I think those are not the strong suits of either team, right? I think the Raiders offense is a strong suit for this team, and I think they're going up against a very good Patriots defense. They got a lot of good players over the offseason. They got Carlton Davis. They got Milton Williams, as you said, Robert Spillane, and all three of those guys are going to come in and try to make some impact early on. Harold Landry as well. And I think that a new coaching staff coming in, especially at the caliber that they are going to put this Patriots team in a situation to try and win this game with smash mouth type of football. I think the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to in this game is how that Raiders defensive line plays against TreVeyon Henderson.
Yeah.
TreVeyon has had a multiple big plays over this preseason, and I think he has that ability to translate it to the regular season. And this defensive line was not that good at defending the run last year compared to the past. Or excuse me, it was a flip side, but that defensive line is going to have to try and stop TreVeyon Henderson from gashing them in the big play department.
How about Josh McDaniels coming back against his former team a couple of years removed about that as well?
It seems like he always comes back somehow.
Yeah, I know. He's being the OC for the Patriots once again. Here he is, and the hope is that the Patriots have, at least for me, as a competent offense this year. I'll take it, especially with a quarterback like Drake May. Okay, all right. We're going to go quickly here through my next 4 teams in the power ranking. Want to do a quick reminder of the folks of who we got right now in the power ranking. And we went all the way up to 9 yesterday. We're going to go 8 through 5. This is going to be interesting. This is where I feel like it gets most divisive, is where the top team sits. The Colts, then the Giants, then the Raiders, then the Patriots, then the Jets, then the Cardinals, then the Dolphins, and the Jags, Bears, Commanders, Chargers, and yes, I just gave away the next team I have on the list, which is the Minnesota Vikings. Let me play a little music for us here to spice up the segment. Little Minnesota Vikings here at number 8, and I know there's a lot of question marks surrounding what J.J. McCarthy is as a talent in the National Football League. At least he is in a situation, in a position where he can be afforded a lot of opportunity to go to guys who are, at this moment, the cream of the crop of talent in this National Football League. I believe in Kevin O'Connell as a quarterback whisperer. If you got what you got out of Sam Darnold last year, at least I would believe you can get at least 80% out of it from J.J. McCarthy and turning him into a decent quarterback. So we'll see what it looks like on the offensive side. I think this defense has a legit opportunity to be a really good defense as well. I think there are a lot of respectable pieces to this Minnesota Vikings team. I trust the institution of the Minnesota Vikings, as we have seen more success than not in terms of it. But I really feel like it's a tough place to play as well. It's a tough division. They proved a lot for maximizing what they had. I like having Jordan Mason as kind of a second wheel in terms of Aaron Jones on that offensive side. Harrison Smith's getting up there in age, but I hope he can kind of continue to be what he is. Javon Hargrave's a guy you mentioned. He's there on the interior defensive line. Jonathan Allen's going to be an interesting add on the defensive line as well. So I like this Minnesota Vikings team. I like what they have. I like what they build. I got to put them here at number 8.
This team is very Los Angeles Rams coded to me.
Yeah.
Besides the quarterback position, you got some star wide receivers with a decent running back room and a defensive line that can absolutely destroy you. I love their staff especially, and we forget, even though they lost that first playoff game, this team won 14 games last season, and I think that this is going to translate over for J.J. McCarthy. He had a year learning under Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell, so I like the pick here. I would say probably correctly rated, in my opinion.
8 overall.
At number 8.
8 overall team here in the National Football League. Next up, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I could put them higher. I really could. I really think they have been as consistent of a National Football League team as we have seen in a little bit of time. Tell me a team that has been consistently in the playoffs as much as they have, outside of maybe the Kansas City Chiefs, and found their way there. Baker Mayfield, I'm buying. I buy Baker Mayfield in every bit of the word in terms of their offensive capabilities with him at the helm. Bucky Irving, he's only going to get better in terms of what he's provided at the running back position. I know Mike Evans has been around for a while, but the dude seems to continue to produce no matter what it is. I mean, that record he produced last year, he's getting to like Ricean levels of consistency in terms of wide receiver situations. I worry about Chris Godwin in terms of his health and ability, but when that guy is available, I mean, Tampa could have won their playoff game last year if he was available in that situation. Egbika being the guy who's going to be in that third wheel spot, a legit possible two, really, in the NFL. They are rich, getting richer in terms of that. I like their offensive line. I like what they have on the defense as well. Antoine Winfield Jr., man, he is in my nightmares in terms of Fresno State fandom, but now having him there. How about Hassan Reddick being a guy who's going to be an impact player on this team potential, seeing him in this roster? I could see him maybe making a little bit of a difference as well. But overall, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, I didn't have belief in Todd Bowles, but he just had the Gents stake on him. I think it's fully gone now. Todd Bowles, respected coach in this National Football League. The Buccaneers here at number 7.
I do like this pick. I think that this is a very good team on the offensive side of the ball. I think Baker Mayfield having that sort of year in this offense is indicative of how good of a coaching job Liam Cohen did last season, and now Liam Cohen is gone. So it's going to be even a bigger onus on these offensive weapons that they got. And, they added to that room, as you said, Emeka Egbuka, who is probably going to be a breakout year for him, in my opinion, at the receiver position there. With Mike Evans aging, even though however consistent he is, I think I am looking for Emeka Egbuka to have as big of a year as that sort of player because of the player he was in college. Defensively, I still do have a little bit of worry for this team, especially in the secondary. But otherwise, I think this is a very complete roster that sometimes we look at because they have been to the playoffs so much, but I think that is also because their division. The NFC South is not the strongest division.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, just looking at it on paper, this team is very, very good. I think it might be slightly overrated, not too overrated to the point where I'm mad about this ranking. But I think this team is worthy of being in this area for sure.
But to be in and to think about with the Buccaneers too, they are always in a nice position because if their division is as bad as it is, they're going to be ballooned up there with a division record that adds to their overall record, which puts them as a possible 2, possible 3. If they really have a decent year, they're going to be afforded that opportunity because they get the benefit of that schedule. And no matter what, you can do things with that thing. In terms of number 6, here's what we got. Buffalo Bills is where I go next. This might be a little controversial. I would say I may have thought it may be a little too low, but I just think it's a team that's obviously got a lot of capabilities with the quarterback position. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He has been fantastic. He has been consistent. He has been healthy. I would say the healthiest of any quarterback we've had in the National Football League. With what he's been doing, it's kind of a minor miracle he can stay that sustained. James Cook, I buy all of his stock. I think James Cook is as good of a running back in the National Football League. My question is, Josh Allen can do a lot with a lot not on the roster in terms of the wide receiver position. I like Khalil Shakir as a guy, but they kind of spread it around. It's very Patriots-esque like in terms of the roster build on the wide receiver position with Shakir, Coleman, and Palmer. Kincaid's a good option as far as that's concerned. On the defense, I don't know if they totally upgraded switching out Von Miller and Joey Bosa in that sense, and even Joey's a little more of a injury concern, I would say, in terms of that. So I don't know if I have a complete idea that this team is improved on the defensive side. I know they like them, but I don't know if I can say I feel confident in what they are doing on the defensive side to stay healthy this year.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lower on the Buffalo Bills, just in general, not just ranking terms, just because of the lack of free agents that they brought in for this defensive side of the ball. Yeah, I do like some of their pieces, but I still think that the ultimate goal for this Buffalo Bills team is Super Bowl, correct?
Yeah.
And when you look at the roster itself and how this team has performed over the last couple of years, yes, you do have a top 3 quarterback, arguably the number 1 quarterback in the league in Josh Allen. But beyond that, I think this front office has not done the best job at providing Josh Allen the best weapons that is necessary. Yes, Stephon Diggs was there, and I think he played very well. But now you go into this year, Khalil Shakir, Josh Palmer, and Keon Coleman are your receivers. Not a bad receiving core, but nothing that's going to put them over the top this season. And so I think that's why I would have the Buffalo Bills a little lower, but they are still a very good team just because you have that Josh Allen factor. And then you do have players. Christian Benford I like on the defense, and Ed Oliver and Gregory Rousseau. So they have guys. I just think that collectively this team, I'm a little bit lower on this year than previous seasons.
Going to number 5 real quickly because I know we're running out of time in the segment. But number 5, we have, just missing my top 4, the Detroit Lions sitting here at number 5. Detroit, I knock them a little bit just because of the exchange of the coaching situation there, losing a coordinator on both sides of the ball. Always going to cause you a little bit of time to get used to everything, especially when the games count for real. But this team is for real in terms of the talent. They return a lot in terms of it. Key player obviously coming back, Aiden Hutchinson coming back from injury and what he could provide on the defensive side. Just felt like this defense just lost a lot of steam in terms of the injury department, and they hope to have everything kind of stay healthier this year, and you could feel it when they lost in that playoff game. But they got the weapons to keep going. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, awesome combo at running back. Jared Goff has done everything he can as the quarterback for this Lions team. Amon-Ra, fantastic. Jameson Williams, still I don't think has reached his potential. Sam Laporta, very good, dependable tight end. The line, very good as well. I really like the Lions this year, but I like a team's a little bit higher than them, and that's why I'm putting them right outside my top 4.
Yeah, I like the Lions as well. I think this is a good spot for them in terms of rankings. You just look at the team, and they have stars across this entire squad. As you said, Aiden Hutchinson. But the health of this entire defense, Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, Alex Anzalone, like all of these guys were so important to this team last season, and one way or another, they weren't on the field. So losing Carlton Davis, I think, is a little bit of a loss, but otherwise, I think this team is primed for another big run in the NFC. Sadly, I think the NFC is very, very tough this year compared to years past, and it's going to be a little bit difficult for the Lions to get back to an NFC Championship game, but I do believe in their roster for sure.
Should be interesting. All right, Tanvir, let's hit the break. We'll be right back, wrap up the hour here on 1430 ESPN.
1430 ESPN is your home for local sports, and nobody does high school football better. Don't miss Friday Night Lights, every week with live on-site coverage featuring Phil Donati, Paul Metters, and legendary coach Pat Hill. Visit 1430ESPNFresno.com for the full season lineup and to stream us live. Don't miss Friday Night Lights on 1430 ESPN Fresno.
Prices on steel and materials are going up, but at Pacific Steel Supply, they're still delivering the best deals in the industry. Whether it's residential, commercial, industrial, or ag projects, Pacific Steel Supply will match or beat any competitor's price by an extra 10% on top quality steel, metal roofing, and components. With 24/7 service, fast delivery, and the best prices, the time to act is now. Get your free quote today from Pacific Steel Supply in Fresno, Ashland, and Parkway off Highway 99 or online at PacificSteelSupply.com.
Hey, football fans, you know what makes a team great on the gridiron? It's when all the players do their part to make everything work. That's what Superior Pipe can do for your food processing plant, chemical plant, boiler service, or tank truck. Thanks to their reliable and durable pipes, valves, and fittings, you can be sure that everything that makes your team perform is running strong. And with their same-day service and competitive pricing, they'll help make sure all your players are doing their part. Call now at 266-PIPE or visit online at SuperiorPipeUSA.com today. Go Dogs!
Want to work somewhere fun, flexible, and rewarding? Me and Ed's is hiring. We're looking to expand our team with full and part-time positions at over 40 locations. Join our growing company as a delivery driver or valued team member today. For more information on job descriptions or to apply, go online at meandeds.com or visit your nearest location. Me and Ed's is hiring. Fill out an application.
It was 106 degrees. The Johnsons were sweating, and their AC, dead silent. But 2 doors down, the Millers, cool and comfortable. Why? They called Lee's Air for a $99 AC maintenance before summer started. We catch problems before they catch you. Don't sweat the heat. Beat it. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Fast, friendly, guaranteed. Call now or schedule at leesair.com.
Welcome to A+ Signs.
Thanks. Yeah, I need some custom exterior signs for my business.
Great. What's the name of your business?
C+ Signs.
Wait, you own a sign company?
Yep, C+ Signs.
And you want us, A+ signs, to make your signs?
Yeah, I need them really fast, and we can't touch our turnaround times.
We are kind of known for that.
For signs that stop traffic, drive traffic, and even direct traffic, call A+ Signs.
Remember, A+ has great technicians to service and repair signs, too.
Yeah, we got a guy, but he's afraid of ladders.
Summer is here, and the hottest deals are at Valley Pure. For premium indoor house flower to tasty edibles, smooth vapes, must-have concentrates, and refreshing cannabis drinks, we've got everything you love at prices that keep you coming back for more. Stock up for your summer fun with unbeatable discounts across all Valley Pure locations. Whether you're looking to relax, celebrate, or spark up some good vibes in the sun, Valley Pure has the deals to keep the season rolling with easy online ordering and curbside pickup right from the app.
At FFB, we know behind every business is a person. That's why we're more than a bank. We're a partner, a farming-focused bank for hard workers, a future-forward bank for big dreamers, and a family-friendly bank for the next generation of owners. From first ideas to major milestones, we're here to help you chase your goals and score big. So what can FFB mean for your business? Find out at ffb.bank. That's ffb.bank. FFB Bank. Let's win together.
Here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here in this final segment of our final hour, or second hour of the show. Well done. Anyways, we have a schedule, a new fresh schedule for you here, and maybe that's what I do for this segment here right now, because I don't have enough time to talk about anything else. Like I said, we taking you up to Giants baseball. Giants and Cubs tonight at 6:15, a pregame between them. Giants and Cubs in a battle in San Francisco. And then A's and Tigers over on 790. Strange game last night, by the way. I was talking about this with Jorge earlier today. Tarek Skubal, 6 runs given up, and yet only 1 was earned last night, even though he gave up a grand slam. Riddled me that with baseball. He gave up 2 home runs last night, and yet 1 home run was an earned run. So, baseball. I'm a little miffed because I would like Garrett Crochet to win the Cy Young Award, and Tarek Skubal, if he's not getting earned runs against him, then I feel like there's an agenda. That's what I'm going to say. I'm gonna recklessly assume there's an agenda in baseball. Anyways, all right. Wednesday tomorrow there will be a Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D. There will not be a behind the bench tomorrow because I am on my way to Sacramento for Oakland for A's affiliate night for the Tigers. So I'll be at the A's game tomorrow night. And yes, have FPU Sunbird Sports Show. That debuts. Paul Metters is going to have his show 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. He'll be there 7-9 for the first edition of the FPU Sunbird Sports Show. Can't wait to hear for that for him. Giants-Cubs tomorrow night as well. We have Giants-Cubs on Thursday. That's a day game, 12:15 pregame, 12:45 first pitch from San Francisco, Giants and Cubs. I will follow that game whenever it wraps up after the postgame, and then we will send it over for the rest of the night. On 790, we will have the final regular season broadcast for the Grizzlies this year, Grizzlies and Inland Empire. I talked about this with Johnny Bravo. That could be the championship matchup because Inland's been playing very well in the second half from the south side. If the Grizzlies play like they did against San Jose, they're beating them in a series. And then you would say North versus South, Grizzlies versus Inland Empire could potentially be a California League championship preview. So just throwing that out there. And then Friday, Sportsline Bulldog Hour with Tony D from 2 to 3. We'll have my show just 2 hours on Friday as we will wrap up at 5 o'clock. I will head on over to La Monica Stadium for our pregame, which starts at 7 p.m. Clovis and Salinas in a battle for the Rodeo Bowl. That'll be on 1430. Me, Paul Metters, Pat Hill on the call on a Friday night. You don't want to miss it there. A's and Rangers. Because of the Friday Night Lights, so another reminder, We will not be airing Giants baseball Friday. Giants and Orioles will be foregone there, but they will be back Saturday and Sunday. A's and Rangers all throughout the weekend. And then on Saturday also, we'll have Central Valley Sports Report with Paul Metters from 10 a.m. to noon on 1430 ESPN. All right, we got one more segment, or one more hour to get to. We're going to get silly. He hasn't been in a while. Ace is going to join me next, talking all things sports, Fresno State football, the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift news, I'm sure, all of it. Coming up next on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
ESPN Fresno is proud to bring back the Student Athlete of the Week. Each week, we'll honor a local high school standout for their performance on the field, in the gym, or on the court. It's our way of celebrating the hard work, dedication, and talent of Valley athletes who give it their all. And it all leads to Student Athlete of the Year. Do you have an athlete you believe is worthy of this award? Enter them in at 1430ESPNFresno.com today. The Student Athlete of the Week, shining a spotlight on the stars of tomorrow.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
The wait is over. Toledo's Mexican restaurant, family-owned for over 30 years, is now open in Cedar Rainiz in Northeast Fresno. It's your spot for bold, authentic Mexican flavors and all your favorite sports games. Happy hour runs Monday through Friday, 2 to 5, plus weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 8 to 11 for college football. Enjoy $10 appetizers and $7 house margaritas. Toledo's, now with 3 locations in Clovis and Fresno. Order online at Toledo'sMexicanRestaurant.com.
Is a cracked screen or dying battery putting the brakes on your day? Swing by Selfix for lightning-fast phone repairs. Our expert techs are wizards with all major brands, guaranteeing your device is back in action before you know it. Plus, every fix comes with our rock-solid warranty. Drop by 6751 North Blackstone or dial 559-765-8044 to lock in your spot. Selfix, your ultimate ally in phone rescue. Stay plugged in, only with Selfix.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house CAD permit department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno.
Surveying and design building, the backbone of the Central Valley. Proud partners of Fresno State Athletics, because when the dogs rise, the Valley rises. Go Dogs! Visit PrecisionEng.net today.
Now, wait a minute. Just hold on here. What happened? Where did this summer go? Did we have summer? I got up yesterday. It was Memorial Day. I got up this morning. It's almost fall. Well, fall is not bad. And you know what it means? It means 2 good friends, 2 great stores, 1 huge parking lot. Yeah, it means the fashion furniture Lou Rodman Labor Day clearance. It means sofa love seat combinations and sectionals at Fashion for just $14.97. Selected handcrafted Amish floor samples from Lou Rodman as low as half price. Oh, and inside Fashion Furniture, Sleep Retreat has an expanded line of Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Beauty Rest mattresses, many with free adjustable bases. And then 0% financing at both stores. Well, it may be almost fall, but you should almost fall into the Labor Day clearance at Fashion Furniture and Lou Rodman's on El Paso across from River Park.
Your home for high school sports. 1430 ESPN, the Valley's local sports leader. KFIG Fresno.
The NFL has placed Texans safety Jimmy Ward on the league's exempt list. This stems from an incident earlier in the summer when Ward was arrested for an alleged family violence incident. The Patriots cut offensive lineman Cole Strange 3 years after making him a number 1 draft pick. Falcons starting right tackle Caleb McGarry will miss the 2025 season. He's on injury reserve with a leg injury. Bills first-round pick Maxwell Harrison has been placed on the team's injury reserve list with the designation to return on Tuesday. He's been dealing with an LCL sprain. Saints coach Kellen Moore has named his starting quarterback. It is Spencer Rattler, who beats out rookie Tyler Shuck. In Cleveland, rookie Dylan Gabriel will be the backup for Joe Flacco, with Shedeur Sanders being the number 3 quarterback. Meanwhile, in Dallas, Coach Brian Schottenheimer met with Micah Parsons. Instead, the meeting was a productive one.
Mike and I had a long conversation, probably talked for an hour about a lot of different things and addressed a number of different issues and things like that. And at this point, I'm going to keep that between he and I. But we had a very, very good conversation.
The Cowboys open their season in 9 days. To baseball, where Cardinals first baseman Wilson Contreras has been suspended for 6 games. He'll appeal the suspension. The season appears to be over for pitcher Nathan Eovaldi of the Rangers. He's dealing with a rotator cuff strain. Baseball action tonight. The Red Sox in the 7th lead the Orioles 2-0. Yankees trail the Nationals 1-0. Phillies and Mets scoreless. U.S. Open, Coco Gauff is playing her first-round match. And she has just come out victorious in her first set, 6-4.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Wednesday, we'll react to Cut Down Day in the NFL and get you set for a full slate of college football this weekend. We'll break it on down on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
He's got the knowledge.
Because once again, I have to come on there and talk about how right I am once again in anything that it comes to sports.
He's got the questions.
I'm going to lose it. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
He's got the guests.
20th head coach in Fresno State history here, Matt. Is it hard to believe sometimes still, the 20th head coach here in program history?
It's all moved really quickly here over the course of the last 5-6 weeks, but super excited to be here.
Phil Bonatti is the voice for the Central Valley sports leader. Behind the Bench starts now. Brought to you by Helena Agri.
That's right. Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Here, one more hour before we take you to Giants baseball on 1430 ESPN. Giants pregame starting at 6:15 against the Cubs, 6:45 first pitch. We are here live on this 5 o'clock hour. Hopefully you're heading on home and getting ready and done for the day and getting ready for your evening. And we hope to provide the necessary entertainment for you on your way home on the Central Valley Sports Leader. Reminder, Lee's Air Hotline, 559-320-1430, the way to reach us on the show. We're joined in the next hour by a guy who has not been here for a while, but he's back and ready to talk some sports for the time being. He has been a man that has been literally chained inside of a Costco. His name is Asa, and he is here now on 1430. Asa, how are we doing?
I'm free for now.
For now, until Costco comes back.
Next week.
Yes, until Costco comes calling back. This is a little out of my head, so I'm turning it down just a little
that's
bit.
fine.
There you go. How you doing, bud?
A lot better now.
Yeah?
Thanks for having me on. It's cool to see the sun.
Yeah, this morning. How about that? We were all dealing with this morning, the rain, the thunder, the lightning. Did you experience it the way I was experiencing it?
No, because I was still chained inside of my house because for those who are historians of the show, my house caught on fire back in June, and I didn't have a kitchen floor or a living room floor, and people were or a dining room window, and I just got the window replaced today. So
great timing,
incredible timing. So between like the thunder and people banging around downstairs, my dogs were just insufferable today.
Having a time,
just exactly having a time. And I'm like, please don't pee anywhere. This isn't my house.
Hey, at least you had the hardwood down there that they could. It's easily clean-upable.
It's clean-upable, but like they were like the people that were working on my house were downstairs and I was upstairs, which is just entirely carpet. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not leaving my bedroom today.
And for the record, I was at their house literally yesterday, and it is a cave with the echo There's no carpet whatsoever or anything. That
It's just all hard surfaces.
It'd be an awful place to host a rock gig. And
Oh
so-
yeah, like if it was like a living room show, like a Midwest emo show, like no, forget it. It'd sound awful.
Yeah. So
aside from the fact that it's Midwest emo,
yeah, you're going through it. You're going through it right now. But
things are happening.
Things are happening, but it's for the better, supposedly.
We'll see.
We'll see. Home improvement. It's a labor of love. But regardless, it's a new day. We're here. We had the rain, and now I feel like I'm just perpetually wet right now. I'm just feeling
it's
moisture.
so gross outside.
It's disgusting.
I did also in the vein of stuff I've had to do today. I went and got my teeth cleaned this morning for the first time in like 10 years.
That is amazing.
And like my mouth feels weird.
There's no more important news than that.
No, absolutely not.
Nothing
but like,
else is more important than
okay, but that's getting to the point where like I had to go outside today, like post rain, and it was just I felt like I was living in Florida, and I'm like, no, this
But
is not.
Isn't
for
that
me.
your dream? Isn't that your dream? Then?
It was not anymore.
You had now learned.
I've experienced somewhere in Florida vis-a-vis living on one humid day in California. And I went no.
The only thing that the only reason Asa would live in Florida is because for one and only one singular job in the history of the United States job market is what Asa would do to move to Florida, which is to be Jackson Daville,
absolutely
the mascot for the Jacksonville
100%.
Jaguars. The one and only job that would
Steph, sorry if I get the offer, like I'm going.
He is
Yeah.
becoming Jackson.
I thought you were going to say another mascot. I thought he was going to go straight to the Mickey Mouse of Disney World, but no, Jackson DeVille.
No,
Yeah,
I don't want to work.
which
I don't
one?
want to work for Disney.
But okay, I gotta ask.
You're on Disney Channel. Right? We're owned.
We're here. It's ESPN. The mouse.
Well,
is
I'm not
listening.
getting paid.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm I'm an intern.
I gave you some Black Bear bucks the other day.
Yeah, I've got paid like $100.
Do you understand what that means?
That is, you know what? Coming from you, that is a lot. And you know what? It's not that I don't appreciate it, but like Mickey Mouse is not signing my paychecks, so
Respect
you know
the mouse.
I can still be here.
The Bears signing your paycheck. We're off the rails. We're off the rails
already.
Okay, I know we're gonna get like 2 or 3 mad callers, but I don't care. I just have to acknowledge it today because it's the news of the day and everybody's talking about it. How quickly did you get a text message about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift being engaged? He just hit his head on the microphone for those.
That's what that was
For the audio only people.
Steph texted me today and was like, "I might have to go home from work," and I'm like, "All right, honey. You know what? You do.
You power through, ma'am. You power through."
I'm just gonna say, as someone that worked in a jewelry store, Travis Kelce could have done better.
Oh, wow!
You broke.
Wow,
man. Probably 3.5, 4 carat.
You don't
weight.
think that was
Joseph Ashuri?
Not enough.
Joseph Ashuri of Ashuri Jewelers in Visalia, not Nad, by the way, bought his wife a 5.5 carat weight, and it is bigger. And that dude works in Visalia, California. Travis Kelce has played professional football for going on what, like 12 years?
Visalia, Kansas City.
Yeah. Honestly, what is the difference?
Exactly.
But like professional football player versus like guy that owns a jewelry store, there is a disparity in income.
If I blindfolded you and just dropped you in the middle of Visalia versus I dropped you in the middle of Kansas City, I don't know if you could tell the difference.
No.
We're not off the air. That's just a legit
I know.
blank stare at me.
I know. I'm sorry. That was dead air. I
He's
had to
taking
think.
time to look at the question.
If you drop me in the middle of
Actually, if I dropped you in a suburban neighborhood in Visalia versus a suburban neighborhood in Kansas City, you would have no clue the difference.
I think I'd be okay in Visalia. Because I live there, but
duh.
still. But like
those streets.
Yeah, like if you like spun me around, I'd be like, okay, I think I can find Caldwell.
You know not to go to Lover's Lane.
No, I can go to Lovers. No, I can't go to Lovers Lane. They're doing construction on the overpass on 198,
By the way,
and nobody knows how to drive.
It's the funniest thing about Visalia. They actually have a literal Lover's Lane. I don't know.
We do.
You literally do. They literally do.
And like if you go north or south, it doesn't go anywhere.
It's nothing special.
If you go north, it takes you to like St. John's Parkway, which ends like at the riverbank. So like where are you going to make out? Like on the riverbank where there's mosquitoes? Like what are you doing?
That's like a wintertime activity when the mosquitoes are dead, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
That's a little better.
That's super romantic.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring something up. I told you I was going to bring this up. I think for sure if the Chiefs would have won, in this last February.
Yeah.
A, I think Travis Kelce retires, and B, I think he would have proposed on the
Oh, absolutely. But they got their teeth kicked in, so he's like, place and time.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah. I saw a picture of the
defense. They couldn't do anything.
Oh!
Couldn't do
Tanvir with the burn.
Only Xavier Worthy was doing that. I saw a picture of Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce from their Cincinnati days today, and it's just like the caption of one man is the sexiest man of the year, and the other man has married the biggest pop star in the history of humanity. And it's just like, it looks like the cover of Letterkenny. Like
that prenup is going to be longer than any book that Travis Kelce has ever read in his life.
I have a hot take. I think her music is going to suffer.
Dude, hold on. It's gonna get. We're gonna get the best album ever if they ever get a divorce.
Yeah,
it's gonna be stupid. Good.
Swift will be back, but what is she gonna write songs about now? Like just being happy? Who cares?
The lack of the ring.
Honestly, I entered into a really good relationship, and my music as a songwriter has suffered.
You feel it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No one cares. No one cares.
What am I gonna sing about? Like I burnt the toast? Like what?
Yeah, like my house caught on fire, but like everything else in my life is pretty great. So, but like no one wants to hear about that.
No one cares.
Yeah,
it's just like a Reddit post.
Just
exactly.
a sad song about Sky Moore just getting like traded or released and traded away.
Right? My buddy Sky Moore,
my boy.
Okay, we've talked a lot about a lot of different nonsense. I want to get to business here because I haven't got a chance to. I mean, I talked to you a little bit last night, but for the people, and you were doing a lot of different things during the Fresno State game. But I don't know if I want your uncut, take on the game itself because I want to move on.
Yeah.
Where is your headspace going into this one, the home opener, the one that everybody is looking forward to every single year? It's Georgia Southern. We have somewhat an idea of what this team is capable of, but then again, it's like there's a lot of question marks still to it. How do you feel going into this home opener?
I'm going to touch on Kansas, and then it's going to lead into Georgia Southern.
That's fair.
People said on the internet that I've gotten into arguments with that were like, Kansas has never posed a threat to Fresno State ever.
Well,
and it's like they've never played.
Like, what
they've
do you
never
mean?
played. And so they're like, oh, yeah, like they're going to be nothing. It's just Kansas. And it's like, okay, for one thing, it's a Big 12 school, too. Their quarterback has been really good.
Yes.
Two, I know it's the Sun Belt and that there are people that are like, oh, yeah, Fresno State can take on any school from the Sun Belt. As someone who is a fan of Coastal Carolina in conjunction with Fresno State, Georgia Southern is nothing to slouch about.
Yeah.
Like, they're a good school. They have a good football team and a good football program. Don't sleep on them just because they're from the Sun Belt. That's it.
So is this feeling of like I am setting myself up to realize that this is going to be a close, tight football game? Is this setting yourself up for if the disappointment of a loss happens, you're not going to yet panic yet because you understand the context of what this team is capable of?
I get it. So I get it because I like to think that I am a ball knower.
Yes.
As people often do. However, I think if Fresno State loses this, like, I'll get it, like, we'll get it. But I think Fresno State fans will be like, sell the team. Have a fire sale, whatever it is.
We're talking specifically those on the Facebook page,
yes.
And you know who you
and
are.
on the in the Twitterverse. Like
yes.
if Fresno State like loses this game, I cannot imagine what Fresno State fans on the internet are going to say.
Because I think if we ranked the opponents here at the top, it was Kansas, then Oregon State, then Georgia Southern. If that's how I kind of saw it in terms of the ranking. Now Oregon State could be worse. I don't know. But I have
State's
a feeling,
such a coin flip.
I have a feeling they have some good talent. They're the better of the two, the Pac-2 right now.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I just think I worry about an 0-3 start, allowing the fans to create all kinds of different opinions about this team, where I don't think it's quite justified because it's uncharted territory for this team moving forward with everything that has been going on with the transfer portal, all the new coaching situation, all that kind of stuff. It's just like I think everyone needs to take a deep breath, and I'm just trying to do the precautionary work of like, y'all, the sky is not falling because of an 0-3 start, there's still the conference to play, and I don't know. I'm just trying to do my best to get myself prepped for the firestorm that could come.
Yeah, and these are, I call them for funsies games because they don't really super matter. Like in granted, it's the last.
It matters in putting good play on the football field.
It does, and
getting reps that actually matter in a good football game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree. And I think if Fresno State loses, it's by a field goal. Which at the same time, I think Fresno State fans, if I know them like I think they do, are going to be like, absolutely not. The sky is falling. This team is dog trash.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't.
It is black or white with Fresno State fans.
Yes, and I think if Fresno State loses, not saying that they're going to, I think it is not a case to. The sky is not falling. It's just they lost to a good football team, which is what happened last week.
Yeah,
Kansas is good.
Is it a difficult situation if that 0-3 start happens like this? Are we? Because I know inside this team is better than the 0-3 start, but I know it's also something. It's a product you have to sell to the fans of you have to support it. Here we go, and things are going to have to matter towards the tail end of the season, and especially when it comes to the games that absolutely do matter. When you play at home against Nevada, when you play against Utah State, Wyoming, and God help me to remember the other Mountain West opponent we have on that slate. But in terms of San Diego State, I think is the last one. There you go. But I just think 0-3 isn't telling the entire story of this team if it gets there. But like I said, this conversation could be totally out of the window if they are able to pull it off on Saturday. It's such a coin flip for Saturday in that general. But it's fascinating that is what's sitting on the fulcrum of a win versus a loss for this team, because I feel like you got to get over the hump sooner rather than later. But man, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the reaction.
Right. Well, I think also performance matters. And as we saw in that Kansas game, performance was just not that very good.
Yeah.
If we come out and we have a good performance against Georgia Southern, a good performance against Oregon State, we're not backtracking here from what we're saying. We knew that this was going to be a team that you don't really know about. We don't know if this team's going to come out of the gates blazing 3-0, or are we going to have to fix some things as we go into the later parts of the year, and we may start 0-3. But it is about performance, and putting up a good performance it has to be the bare minimum, especially in this Georgia Southern game. I understand we're saying Georgia Southern is a good team, and we also understand what this Georgia Southern team presents in terms of a battle, but I also think that performance is going to be the key factor in how we look at the future of this Fresno State season, especially towards the back end.
What do you want to see on Saturday?
Competent football. That's really about it. Maybe at least big play potential, because from what I remember from the Kansas game, one of the biggest plays was a screen pass that was almost an accident.
The Warner flip to
Donaldson. Warner, the E.J. Warner, oh God!
Here, Donaldson, here you go.
Exactly, yeah.
And that was on the first drive.
Exactly, yeah. And it after that, it was kind of, not to say that I was expecting a lot, but it was kind of a bunch of not a lot.
I joke that the best play in the game was on the scripted drive as an unscripted play.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not. I wouldn't say that is. It puts confidence in my ears and confidence in my brain in terms of that was our best play.
And that's the rough thing, because obviously Coach Entz has a plan. The first 10, 15 plays are always scripted, and you want them to go well. But also at the same time, I don't even want to say it's David and Goliath. David fighting Goliath. It's David fighting, I don't know, one of the giant monsters from Attack on Titan or whatever.
Cyclops?
Exactly, yeah. Something bigger. I don't know.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know. We can talk about that in the commercials. But I would like a competitive game. That's all I want. That's all I want. I want it to be close, and I don't want to be man. I don't want to leave Valley Children's being man.
I think a monkey off the back kind of win thing, because it feels like once it gets that level, then it gets difficult and further difficult as it goes. Southern, I feel like will be the win, but obviously, but I would hope it's not the first win. Talking about the Southern game coming up in 3 weeks. So,
Yeah. I think if Fresno State loses that game, I think that is cause to hit the panic button.
Yeah. That would be fair. That would be completely fair, and there would have to be questions answered in that sense. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Saturday's coming. Let's take a break. We're going to talk baseball because some schedules got released, and plus my 5 at 5 is around this topic, which is I do it at the end of every month. Top 5 baseball teams at the end of the month. This is the last time I'm going to be able to do it here at the 5 at 5 section. So we're going to do that. 5 best baseball teams at the end of August right here, right now. Stay with us. Behind the Bench rolls along on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader.
Football fans, listen up. Are you tailgate ready? Grocery Outlet and ESPN Fresno are going to make that happen with our Tailgate Ready contest. Up for grabs is a pair of tickets to a Fresno State home football game, as well as $100 towards your tailgate. Just visit the locations in Sanger, Kerman, and select Fresno locations to learn more. We'll select a winner before each Fresno State home game this season. That means 6 chances to win. So be sure to stop by your local grocery outlet today and win big for your tailgate and go support the Bulldogs.
Hey everybody, Paul Metters here, host of the Central Valley Sports Report. I want to give a big shout out to Clovis Stone, Masonry, and Landscape Supply, proud supporters of all high school athletics, especially our Clovis schools. For over 50 years, they've been the Valley's go-to for natural and artificial stone, brick, block, bark, hummus, you name it, they've got it. With fast delivery available. Find them on Sunnyside, just south of Herndon and Clovis, or online at clovisstone.net. Ball improvement starts here at Clovis Stone.
Are you tired of waiting forever for your prescriptions? Grizzly Pharmacy is here to tame your healthcare needs. We fill most prescriptions in 15 minutes or less, always accepting new patients. And enjoy free delivery to your home or workplace in Fresno and Clovis. We accept all major insurance, including Medi-Cal, Blue Cross, and Optum Rx. For our Clovis location, please call 559-324-1808 or visit grizzlypharmacy.com for more information.
Sports fans of the Central Valley, are you ready to step up your game day grilling? Step into the Butcher Boss and discover winning flavors the champions crave. Ask about their 5 for $35 deal, where you can feed up to 5 people for $35 every day. Located right off the 41 north of Avenue 11, stop by the Butcher Boss today and become the boss of your barbecue.
I'm here at the Roger Dunn Open. Former Fresno State football coach Pat Hill is at the first tee.
Hey, it's a fairway hit.
Yeah, but that's the wrong fairway, Coach.
I need to buy a golf game.
Coach, I really think you need a Roger Dunn makeover.
When you buy a game at Roger Dunn, you can play anybody, anytime, anywhere. This is the old coach, Pat Hill. I bought this 7-iron at Roger Dunn Golf. Number 8 at Tehama, 162 yards out. Eagle, baby!
As of today, the 30% federal solar tax credit is still available for homeowners looking to save energy and money, but it's scheduled to be phased out on December 31st, 2025. The time to call Donald P. Dick is now, 255-1644. Let Mr. Cool show you how to drive down the cost of home energy. The deadlines for installing solar and taking advantage of the tax credits are December 31st. Call Mr. Cool at 255-1644.
I know how important some of this equipment for the farmers is. Without it, they can't get the job done.
That's Bob Aguirre, service manager at Pioneer Equipment Company.
My philosophy is get the tractor in and get it out as fast as I can. It's not supposed to be in the shop. It's supposed to be out in the field working.
Pioneer provides quality service for Kubota, Land Pride, and Nelson Equipment. Stop by and say hi at our Fresno or Reedley locations, and we'll get your equipment serviced right away.
This is a family-oriented business. It's been great working for Pioneer Equipment.
Visit PioneerEquipmentCA.com.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader, here on this Tuesday afternoon. Folks, I'm going to the Grizzlies game. I don't know what you're doing later tonight. I'm going to go hang out. Probably my last chance to see the Grizzlies in the regular season, although I will say I'm clearing out my calendar for Grizzlies playoff baseball. Magic number's down to 4, by the way, if you didn't know that, in terms of clinching a playoff spot.
Oh.
So the Grizzlies would need – they could clinch it as by tomorrow night, actually. If Modesto loses 2 in a row and they win 2 in a row, Modesto will be out, and the Grizzlies will be playing in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. I joked with Johnny because the players are so young, you got to get the sparkling cider.
Stop it.
And that'll get sticky in the locker room. Get your best goggles out. What would be your move if you were in a clubhouse and they clinched and you would you do the pour down the back to some guys? Would you go straight for reporter faces? Like, what would you do? What would be your move in terms of celebrating a playoff victory?
Just straight down the gullet.
You just chug.
Just chugging it.
Have y'all seen the video of Chris Bosh like pouring it onto his face?
Oh, yeah.
It is the funniest thing.
Oh yeah, that'd be me.
I don't know why we don't get great NBA locker room celebrations.
Yeah, why don't we?
I don't feel like because the guys are maybe too young.
I feel like everything's so subdued now,
Yeah.
especially in the NBA.
Plus, I think I remember a video of some guy like not understanding like what beer was like because they don't like a lot of the guys in the NBA. I don't think they drink beer very much in terms of that. But baseball players, oh yeah, beer plenty in terms of that.
And it's always like the aluminum cans of like
they
Budweiser.
have like the big like champagne looking bottles of like Budweiser, and at first seeing it, I'm like that looks phenomenal.
I want it.
I would.
Gib.
I wonder. I'm wondering like we should do something like if we did a fantasy like the winner gets like a champagne bath or the loser gets a champagne bath.
But that's like expensive.
Now the loser has to pay for it.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I don't like that because I'm going to lose.
Anyways, all right. MLB schedules come out. I just want to do a little quick look at some of the schedules here for the Giants specifically. Very interesting start to the year for the Giants. So here's the Giants are going to be the opening day game, which means they are a solo game on the first game of the year, the 25th of March, hosting the New York Yankees. So the Giants are hosting the Yankees. That's the only game of the day. And then the next day, everybody else starts the season.
Is it at Oracle?
It's at Oracle. It's in San Francisco, hosting the Yankees. Judge coming up in against the Yankees in
That's
that game.
Fun.
I think this is as big of an opening day the Giants have ever had in terms of that. I would assume the expectations for the Giants are going to be a lot better than what this year has done. But I think this is as good of a series to start for the Giants in terms of the exposure of it. But a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 3-game homestand against the New York Yankees. I found that fascinating that MLB's going that route in terms of the first game of the year. I don't know about you guys, but
I mean, considering that, like, what was it, like the last 2 years were all international games?
Yeah, the Tokyo series, the Korea
and then
series.
Korea, yeah.
So I don't know if that's still happening. I think it's not. But I do believe it is the first game of the year against the Yankees. Giants have a lot of East Coast in April, by the way. I'm just kind of looking at it, skimming it through. They got a long road trip at Baltimore, at Cincy, at Washington. I wouldn't say those are murder road trips as far as that's concerned. The Giants' home stands have been really tough, though, here in April. I'm just looking at it right now. How about these first 4 opponents at home? Yankees, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers in order as far as that's concerned of your home games. So if the Giants are going to have home woes like they've had, that is a tough start in terms of the home games. We're also including Miami, who is an up-and-coming team in that as well. That's your March and April for the Giants at home. Pretty tough.
No, I mean, they started out fast this year, so hopefully maybe they can have that a little bit of consistency towards the middle of the season versus, they're going to obviously start off with some tough opponents early on, as you stated, but I think that can bode well for them, especially if they go into the middle part of the season, into the All-Star break on a winning streak versus how they were this year, which they lost a bunch of games going into the middle part of the year.
Go ahead.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Despite the Giants not being great at home and being kind of like on a losing skid, they're still selling out Oracle.
People love their Giants.
They
I don't know.
do. And,
It's a great
super
ballpark to be in.
cool.
It's a great ballpark to be at.
We went to, me and Steph went to a Giants Dodgers game like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, hey, if I ever go Lake Terminal, just leave me here. just leave me.
Just leave you.
I'll die here. It's
fine.
cool.
It's a great place to be.
It's beautiful.
It's a great place.
Park in baseball.
The Giants, it's pretty spread out in where the Dodgers come into their season. The Giants will have a homestand in April, late April against the Dodgers, and then they'll have a road trip against the Dodgers in early May. Actually, it's a 4-game road trip for the Dodgers in May. How about this, though? Final in September, the second to last weekend, they're at the Dodgers. Final weekend of the year, the Giants host the Dodgers in Oracle for the final series of the year. Giants,
that's gonna be
Dodgers.
good.
To close out the season. How about that?
Yeah, it'll be good.
If I had to look at like a month that I feel like the Giants could really handle things, I'm looking at July. 7 games against Colorado, 3 on the road against Seattle, 3 on the road against Kansas City. They get a homestand against Toronto, home against the Angels. Milwaukee's tough. They got to hit San Diego. But if I had to really objectively look at it, I think that might be the easier one. Or I could look at May, and here are the opponents in May. They got road games against Tampa, Dodgers, A's, Diamondbacks, Rockies. And then they're home against the Padres, Pirates, White Sox, and Diamondbacks. So I could see some good things happening in May and like July. So that's kind of where it is for the Giants. But they got to play objectively better than what they've been playing. So for me to actually even feel better about it, I even think their September is pretty decent with a lot against St. Louis, Minnesota, second to last series of the year. That'd be a nice, easy team to kind of beat since they sold like everything. So I think the Giants have an interesting draw. To say the least. Also, nice to open at home and close at home.
Oh, that is nice.
They get the home opener early, first part of the year, and then they close at home. Here's the weird thing about the A's. I just want to point out the A's real quick. I'm not going to go through their entire schedule. The only quirk about the A's schedule is 6 games in Las Vegas for the A's this year. They're going to put them in, I would believe, the AAA ballpark that the Las Vegas AAA team plays in. They're going to host Milwaukee and Colorado in a 6-game homestand in June in Vegas. I would have to believe those are all night games because that'll be tough.
In the
scorching desert of June for the Brewers and the Rockies, and then they actually come right back to Sacramento for the Pirates and the Angels.
That noon first pitch is about to be ridiculous.
Dude, I've played like late night shows in Vegas, and like even though it was like a backyard show, like in someone's house with air conditioning, it was rough.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what it's like to play baseball outdoors in Vegas.
A's opening the season in Toronto, north of the border, and then Atlanta, and the home opener will be April 3rd against the Houston Astros. So there you go. And then they do a little New York double dip. Final few little things on the MLB schedule. They have Jackie Robinson Day on April 15th. The 4th of July, all teams are going to be in action on 4th of July. MLB is going to have the 25th anniversary of 9/11 for the Yankees and the Mets are going to play each other on the 25th anniversary of 9/11. And they're going to have rivalry weekend May 15th through 17th, whatever that is. So there you go. And that's the MLB calendar there for 2026, which is a season that will happen. I'll guarantee you, though, 2027 will not. So enjoy your baseball while you got it.
Is that the CBA year?
CBA, all of it, going to come down to the wire.
There we go.
All right, let's do a little quick 5 at 5 with the MLB baseball. Let me play the imaging real quick.